Welcome to the Temple of Witchcraft. We're a nonprofit religious organization dedicated to preserving and furthering the practices of magic and witchcraft, making deeper experiences available to seekers outside of traditional coven structures. We're located here in the other Salem, New Hampshire, and anchoring our community with the physical site, a sacred space that could be developed over time with gardens, ritual sites, and resources where people could return and again was a key goal for us. Many hubs in the witchcraft community go away, rather quickly. They change over with their owners or their interests. So we wanted something that could be held in trust for the community and developed over time. We incorporated in 2009, and in 2011 we obtained this property in Salem. It has three main buildings upon it. Here's the main Victorian house with the garden, beautiful donated goddess statue. And here's our poison gardens to the south side of the main building. Our garden spaces lead into a back area behind the main building for ritual. Currently, we're coded to have 2 rooms open in the main building for gatherings, and our hope with this fundraiser is to gather the funds and to continue the process of developing this barn into a community center where we can have larger gatherings and resources. Here we go down the 3 paths, our own little crossroads, and you can see the ritual circles and garden areas, as well as the cottage that we have for guests, the second building on the property. Visiting teachers can stay there. The whole property is about 5.5 acres, and our goal is to develop it. Inside, here's the first room for our gathering, our TempleHearth space. Our TempleHearth space also has the business office, where a lot of our registration work gets done and bookkeeping. Our healing altar for the community, where we have a monthly healing list where people can place their names to send healing energy. And then our store that's open by event. We have the books that we recommend, products that our members can make. Our apothecary ministry makes quite a few things in terms of flower essences and herbal products, crystals. And when we have classes here in the secondary room that we're looking into, the secondary room is the technical altar space and teaching, the classroom space. We have this tuned to our 4 elements by 4 elemental altars, and this is where the main work of our school happens. We have both in-person and online classes. Here you can see our earth altar. That's in the north. And then moving to the east, we have our fire altar. And then in the south, the air altar. And towards the west is the ancestral altar and the water altar. Our prosperity altar in the back, where we also do a lot of community work. And here in the center is me preparing for the wormwood class that we'll be offering for this event. Here's an artist rendition of our community center following kind of a path of the year here at the temple, from our winter and Yuletide celebrations to our spring gathering of the Lady of Flowers to our harvest celebration. We have smaller events here on site and rent a space for larger spaces until we have our community center built. We offer a variety of programs, classes, ritual events. Here's our Stitch and Witch shawl ministry that gathers and makes clothes. We do work at Boston Gay Pride, marching. And here is a little ritual work that we did for Sekhmet during this COVID times and to kind of banish plague and to protect our members and the greater community. Our 5 acres were fully forested, and we've had to sadly cut down some things. As you can see, after every storm we lose a few trees, which is kind of natural at the age of this forest right now. We have this amazing work trail group that their ministry work is to help carve out some of the trails so we can have ritual sites and spaces. We have someone involved in that actually has worked with state and local services to carve park trails. So that's been really kind of wonderful to get people as part of our Stewards of the Earth ministry to work and learn about, taking care of nature and working with nature, herbal medicines, plant identification, environmentalism, and ecosystems. And so our ministers in that work with these students and volunteers, and part of the work for study is that we maintain the trails and we start to develop the sites. So our hope over time is to develop a larger ritual site where we can have our Sabbats for the community and have various places of veneration for the fairies, for the ancestors, for the various gods and goddesses that we work with. So here we are on one of those trails leading from a small stream in the back up the hill and towards the main property site. So our hope is really to be able to develop not only the physical property, but to be able to develop the community center through where the barn is right now. We recently won our difficulties in getting acceptance and approval to have all of our site plans through the town, and now we just have to raise the funds to make this happen. So we've been steadily kind of chipping away at that and be able to make everything happen, and any help you can offer is always greatly appreciated. Thank you.